Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Finding 10, where we are gonna search for a 10 out of 10 movie. Today I will be discussing about my viewing experience during quarantine up until now. But to be honest, I didn't watch too many movies, so we won't be discussing about movies today. I don't know, when quarantine hit, coincidentally, I was in an anime phase. I think throughout my life, I've been in many different phases, where I'll only watch cartoons, I'll only watch series, shit movies, good movies, horror movies. Yeah, I think that goes for everyone. So up until now, I think 80% of what I've watched during quarantine was anime. So today we will be discussing those animes. I've had a similar phase back in 2017 where I'll only watch animes, but it was anime movies back then. Koi no Katachi, Kimi no Nawa, Ghibli Studios, 5 cinemas per second, just basically famous anime movies. It was just for a short time back then, but when quarantine hit, I was in another anime phase. But this time, it was for anime series. Now disclaimer, I'm not a weeb, or at least, I think I'm not. I'm pretty new to the anime culture, but I know how you guys are, so please don't cancel me if I offend your favorite anime. To give a little background, it's not like I was blind to the world of anime. I actually grew up with a lot of mangas. I was always skeptical of animes because in Indonesia, the most famous anime is Naruto. I think every boy here grew up watching Naruto in global TV. But every time I caught a glimpse of it, it just looked so lame. Naruto would be running for 5 minutes straight with thoughts in his head, and the background would just loop for like 5 minutes, and I think that's very lame. But to be fair, those scenes was actually from Naruto, not Naruto Shippuden. So yeah, discovering my new love for anime has actually been the highlight of my quarantine. Let me list all the animes I've watched during quarantine. Demon Slayer, even though I started watching it before quarantine hit, Death Note, Boruto, Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter, Anohana, Tokyo Ghoul, Steins Gate and Steins Gate Zero, Vinland Saga, Kaguya-sama Love is War, and lastly, Mob Psycho 100. But of course, I'm not gonna talk about all of them in this video because I do think that some of them deserve a video on their own. And those are Attack on Titan, Steins Gate, and Kaguya-sama Love is War. I'll just say this, if you're a fan of sci-fi animes, you should definitely go watch Steins Gate if you haven't because it's honestly so good. If you're a fan of rom-com, then you should definitely watch Kaguya-sama Love is War because it is so relatable, it is so funny, and it is so light. I'm even surprised by how much I like it. But it doesn't matter what your preference is, and it doesn't even matter if you like anime or not, I think everyone should go watch Attack on Titan. I think objectively, Attack on Titan is peak anime, and I can honestly compare it to Game of Thrones. Well, no, Game of Thrones is shit because of Season 8. What I'm saying is that to me, Attack on Titan is more than just an anime. It's honestly one of the best series I've ever watched, ever. But in terms of anime, I think it's transcendental. The animation, the story, and the music. So yeah, go watch Attack on Titan if you haven't. I'll do a whole video on Attack on Titan after Season 4 drops. So alright, let's get started with Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer tells the story of Tanjiro's journey to cure his sister Nezuko from becoming a demon. As per Season 1, this anime to me is just another shonen anime. But what I like most about this anime is the animation, especially the line work. The line art is so fluid that it makes watching it feels nice. The fight scenes are actually very good, and there's not a character that I don't like. It's definitely not the best anime, or even the best anime of the new generations, but I do think that it is a great anime. I for one am so excited for Mugen Train, and I'll definitely watch the later seasons of Demon Slayer. So Demon Slayer gets an 8.5 from me. And just to clarify, I'll be using my anime standards for the ratings. So don't treat an 8.5 in Hollywood movies as an 8.5 in anime, because to me they are from different categories. My standards for them are different. Now Death Note. Going into the anime, I was really excited because people say that this is the best anime ever. And I actually like stories that deals in Battle of the Brains. But surprisingly, Death Note wasn't the best anime. I'll admit that the first act was really good, but the second act dropped the ball so deep it was like a black hole sucked it. While I do agree that the third act was much better than the second act, but it's still much worse than the first act. And I actually like Nier. The only character that I don't like is Light Yagami, because he is so boring to me, but I think that's just because I've watched so many characters with godlike complex before I see Light Yagami. But of course, I love L. Who doesn't love L? So to be fair with the rating, because I don't want my name ending up in someone's Death Note, I'll rate the acts individually first and then I'll average the score. The first act gets a solid 9 from me, the second gets a 6.5, while the third gets a 7.8. So overall, Death Note gets a 7.8. Don't kill me.
Kira. Death Note.
And now Boruto. There's really not much to be said about the anime. I started watching it back then only because I missed Naruto and his friends. And so far, the best moments in the anime involves a character from Shippuden. I really hope that they change the anime into a season format because from what I've heard, the manga is lit. The problem with the anime right now is that it is 90% fillers. So by changing it into a season format, it can just focus on the main story of the manga. But as it is right now, if you're just looking for nostalgia points, or you're just looking for an anime to pass the time, then you should definitely go watch Boruto. It's honestly not as bad as people say in the Instagram comments, but don't start watching this anime hoping that you'll be amazed because you won't. So Boruto gets a 6.7 from me. And now Hunter x Hunter. This is where I'm most terrified of because I think I'll be crucified for saying this. Hunter x Hunter is not the best anime. Please forgive me. And trust me, this frustrates me more rather than it angers you. Because I think the potential for Hunter x Hunter is huge. But there are problems with the anime. First off, the narrator. Oh my god, I kid you not that the narrator was so annoying. He comes out at the end of every episode and then he tells me the summary of the episode that I've watched. It's just super annoying. I think there are moments in the Chimera arc where I almost stopped watching Hunter x Hunter because the narrator just got too annoying. In the Chimera arc, he talks a lot if you haven't realized. I think the narrator got more lines than Gon or even Killua in the Chimera arc. Here's the problem with narrator in general. They are the barrier between us and what we're watching. The existence of a narrator itself tells the audience subconsciously that they are not in the same world, and that is not the way you want it to be. You want the audience to be immersed in your world. Second, power scaling. To this day, I still don't know how strong Gon actually is. If you're talking about Naruto, I know how strong he is right now. I know how strong Sasuke is. But in Hunter x Hunter, I still don't know how strong Gon, Killua, and Kurapika actually are. Dragon Dive didn't really do anything other than inflicting damage to a defenseless little blind girl. And because the power scaling wasn't defined, I would always know the outcome of every battle before the battle even started. And I would always be right. That's why I think Hunter x Hunter is actually just packed for kids. I'm not saying it's made for children, but I think it's just packed for children, especially in the first seasons when they have that Pokemon vibe. It's such a weird vibe. I don't get why people treat this anime as the darkest anime they've ever seen. Yes, the Chimera arc was darker, but I think mostly that's just because they spend most of their time in the dark. If the Chimera arc was happening in daylight, I don't think people would say that it's the darkest anime ever. I can go on and on and on and on about the wasted potential that is Hunter x Hunter, but this video is not about Hunter x Hunter and I'm not willing to put my life on the line for this video. So just to be clear, I still like Hunter x Hunter, but I just don't think it's the greatest anime ever. And I don't even know if I consider it to be one of the greats. Hunter x Hunter gets a 7.2 from me. Ah! Gon!
Gentlemen,
Now Anohana. To be honest, I started watching Anohana just because of Secret Base. But I'll be honest that the anime gets a little slow during the first 9 episodes, and considering that it only has 11 episodes, 9 is a lot. There are of course stuff that I found weird, especially with the dress-up debacle, but episode 10 and episode 11 made it so worth it watching through the first 9. Episode 11 actually managed to make me shed a tear, and I'm not the kind of person that cries during movies. So the fact that Anohana managed to make me shed a tear is just amazing. If you want to feel emotional but wholesome, you should definitely go watch Anohana. And it's just like 4 hours in total, so you won't be wasting that much time. So yeah, Anohana gets a solid 8 from me. Now Tokyo Ghoul. I'll be honest that I started watching this because of Unravel, just like Anohana. But there's really not much that I can say about this anime because I dropped it after the first 5 episodes. I think the fact that I dropped it after 5 episodes because I didn't care for it already tells about the anime. I'm not even gonna rate it because, again, I dropped it after 5 episodes. Vinland Saga. Now this was an anime that I was really excited to watch. It's mainly because it was produced by Wit Studios, the same studio that produced Attack on Titan. So yeah, it goes without saying that the animation in Vinland Saga was superb. It was so amazing. But the story and the relationship amongst the characters wasn't at all what I expected. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, I'm just saying that it took me by surprise. I don't know if I like Vinland Saga or not, because I think there are just a few episodes that I really wanted to skip. It's definitely super interesting how they are taking the Viking story rate to their anime. I'll definitely still watch the later seasons, but as per season 1, Vinland Saga gets a 7.5 from me. And now the last anime I've watched. It is Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100 is created by the same person that created One Punch Man, and I actually really enjoyed One Punch Man. But sadly, Mob Psycho doesn't have the same appeal. While the main character, Mob, is also an overpowered character, the side characters around Mob wasn't interesting enough to keep me engaged. And the jokes in Mob Psycho aren't as funny as One Punch Man. Although I do gotta say that the animation was very interesting, it was very unique. I think the animation is good. Now I didn't finish season 1 because I didn't care enough for it. I dropped it after episode 10 I think. So I'm just gonna rate it up to episode 10. Mob Psycho 100 gets a solid 7 from me. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I continue watching Mob Psycho? Because the ratings for season 2 is higher than season 1 I think. So if any of you have watched Mob Psycho 100, tell me whether I should continue watching it or it just stays the same. So I think that was it for my viewing experience during quarantine so far, except for Attack on Titan, Steins Gate, and Kaguya-sama. I think it needs to be mentioned that I got in this anime phase because of The Promised Neverland. It is such a great anime full of twists, so add that to the list of what you guys should watch. I'm gonna talk about The Promised Neverland in another video when they have more seasons to be talked about. So yeah, if you're a fan of anime and you don't know what to watch, I hope this video can help you decide on what to watch next. I don't think there's an anime that I've watched during quarantine that made me really regret watching it, so yeah. And for the weebs that are watching this, can you guys tell me whether or not I should watch these animes? Your Lie in April, Violet Evergarden, Erased, Darling in the Franxx, just because of Zero 2, and Fire Force. If you're not interested in animes, but you made it this far in this video somehow, thank you for watching. I'm just kidding, but for those of you guys that aren't interested in animes, tell me if you guys want some recommendations on what to watch, whether it's movies or series during quarantine other than animes. So yeah, drop it in the comment section down below, and if you like this video, click the like button, and I will see you guys at our next destinations.